All right, as we're moving into this public speaking unit, I wanted to make sure that you were aware of a really important tab in this process. So I want you to see at the bottom here this informative speech tab. So we want to make sure under journal prompts you're seeing that tab. And I'm going to show you, I've already got it pulled up, but you're going to click on informative speech topics. That is sort of your one-stop shop for what you need. I want to show you, I've got a list already ready, and there are all of these options, and then the chapter and page number they're located on. And once you decide, it's going to be really easy to come up with your thesis statement. So I want to show you, I've pulled up your textbook already. So for example, if you choose the first option, which is tips for communicating well on social media, you're going to inform your audience like you've been asked because you took this course to teach people how to communicate better. And maybe you're looking at a group, pretend you're in some progressive commercial, and you're saying, oh, I'm going to share with you my 3 best tips. Now your textbook has 5, and you don't want 5 main points. You just want 3. So you're going to look through these and pick what you think are the 3 best. And so your thesis statement becomes, today, I'm going to explain to you 3 tips for communicating well on social media, or maybe improving your communication on social media. So you're teaching them. First, we will talk about choosing the best medium. Then we will discuss adapting to our audience. And finally, we will talk about respecting others' need for undivided attention. So you'll pick 3 of the 5. That becomes your thesis statement. All of the topics I picked are 3 or 4 or 5 strategies, tips, explanations. So if you go back to this list, that you'll see ways to interpret nonverbal cues. Pretend you have been asked as a communication expert to come in and talk specifically on one of these things. Go into the page number on, I've showed the page number on the textbook, and then if it's 5 strategies or 5 hacks or 5 tips, pick 3. Pick the 3 that you think are the best. And then you'll need some supporting details to explain, but you'll explain them, talk about them. But we want to practice good delivery. So we want to put together a healthy introduction. We also want to make sure that we have 3 clear main points and that we have good transitions between each one, so that we're saying, now that we've talked about choosing a medium, let's move on to being respectful. We want to make sure we're packaging it really well. We want to walk through our outline effectively, but once you pick your topic and you go to that page and you see your thesis statement is done. So then you're going to go back to the beginning, build your introduction. How are you getting our attention? You'll see the video where I talk about that in the lecture. Then you're going to say, here's why I decided to choose this. So that's what we call your ethos or your credibility. Why did you decide that? That's also your journal prompt, because I wanted you to write it down, which will help us plug it into your speech. Then you're going to say, here's why I think it matters. Why does knowing how to cope with culture shock matter? Why does knowing how to effectively communicate online matter? That's where we call it a motivation statement or a hook. How do I get people to want to listen? That matters. And then the thesis statement. Today I'm going to talk about 3 ways to avoid damaging a relationship, or 3 ways you can learn about other cultures, or 3 misconceptions about communication that people have. And you're just going to spend a little time talking about each one. So I hope this is helpful as you're choosing your topic. My goal is that you spend more time really packaging it and not feel overwhelmed with coming up with the content, so that you can focus maybe a little bit more on the delivery.